hoodie median time, for instance.
Yeah. And there's just one in the refinery, so gonna try it again. Are we, TLO? Let's do this. See how you can improve.
Yep, well, White Ra is going to spot that. I think White Ra is fully aware of this build now, and White Ra has got a lot of options. He could go for the same 4-gate warp gate pressure, and if he goes with the warp prism, well, I don't really know what TLO is going to do about that, honestly. He's going to have to know that it's coming, and he's going to have to be prepared for it. Try and intercept the warp prism, take it down before it can actually deploy its units. And this is a particularly tricky map for it because of this area over to the side right here with the steam.
Yeah, and there goes the 4th chrono boost on the Nexus to get those probes basically out so incredibly fast. He's at 20 already, and TLO's at 15. 3 minutes 30, 5 probe difference already. And there goes the tech lab once again after these two Marines. He's also saving up money to go ahead and throw that command center down. Pretty much the same build so far. On the other hand, let's look at White Ra's base. It's now getting that Stalker out to chase away that SCV. And will he be throwing down that 2nd gateway very, very shortly, or will he just go ahead and expand from here?
I love the way White Ra optimizes this so much by stealing gold minerals on the way back. It's just wonderful.
Gotta make use of that probe. Every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps. There's the Marauder. I think we can safely say there's going to be a Reaper follow-up from here. And there's the 2nd barracks. Yep, the timing is bang on. And he's got now that 2nd SCV in the refinery just to keep the gas count up just a little bit. And
White Ra's going to change it up. Just going to go ahead and expand now. 1 gate expand, and he will be looking to kind of add on the 2nd and 3rd gateway pretty much instantly, along with the 2nd gas as well. Meanwhile, over in TLO's base, we are going for that 3 barracks. He's got to be a little bit careful. There comes the Reaper as well. He's going to move out with minimal units, and in comes the 2nd and 3rd gateway now for White Ra.
Yep. He may be able to poke and do some damage here because, of course, this is a 1-gate expander. We have seen this from him before. We'll see what that Reaper can do. Reaper has lots of opportunities to get into the base. White Ra was already prepared for it, and if TLO goes the obvious route, then White Ra will catch him, but he's not going to do that.
And if White Ra does feel threatened, he literally just force fills the ramp, stays in his main base, but there is a bunker coming down.
Yep, once again, a little bit of bunker pressure right there. Is it spotted? No, it is not.
A few lag spikes here and there.
Just a little bit, yeah. BattleNet is playing up just a bit. Could, of course, be White Ra's connection from the Ukraine.
Yeah.
He has said that that is particularly bad at the moment. Now, White Ra did poke down there and saw the bunker a little bit earlier this time around. We'll see what he can do with that information. Probe annihilated.
And the bunker's going to get up again.
Yeah, well, and it is nice, as I said. Yeah, he wasn't able to kill the Nexus last time around with that, and some people might question, well, is this bunker harassment effective just to kill the Nexus? Well, the thing is, it led into a lot of sentry kills and things like that, so actually it was in the long run effective.
Yeah, you'll see when TLO goes in the bunker and White Ra comes to catch him, you'll see the sentries die. He'll target fire the sentries down very, very fast here. Getting a few extra hits, though, which is always nice before these units do come down.
Yep.
And if he targets that Nexus is very, very close to going down now, but in comes White Ra.
Yep, here it is, and the bunker doesn't actually have as many units as I would have liked in it. He can't fit a Marauder in there. They are too fat, but he has actually brought additional SCVs this time around to reinforce this bunker. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't look like he's able to take down the Stalkers fast enough, and it's going to come down to whether this bunker holds, which it will not. The sentry may die. Reinforcements coming from the side. Eventually, that bunker's going down, but he's taken a lot of damage in the process, and now here he goes. TLO trying to smash his way through this force, takes one Stalker, looks for a second, but now the Marauders are down, and the Marines will be driven away by those Zealots right there.
And he built Stim.
Yes, he did. He
There's
started
the
Stim
change
a bit
from
earlier.
Zalnaga Caverns.
Yep.
The last time he literally didn't build it ever, but this time he's done it. So the build is more refined now, which is what he's doing. Apart from one little Marauder which is stuck, which is now going to be allowed out.
Yes.
He was stuck with the command center. But
that happens to me all the time. It's pretty awkward. It's mostly with tanks for me, though, so it's a little bit less important. Oh, nice little bit of sniping action from the high ground right there by TLO, trying to delay this force that's coming in. TLO repositions his orbital command center a little bit closer to the ramp. He's putting a bunker up right now. If White Ra goes all the way up there, he will get caught out by 3 Marauders, so that's not a particularly good idea. White Ra taking a nice and early 3rd, because, hey, why not?
Hey, TLO, if you're going to go for 3 bases, why can't I? And the thing is, though, that White Ra's playing mind games. Because now TLO realizes that if I go for a 3rd base again, I'm going to risk losing again to the same thing. So White Ra's playing mind games is like, all right, well, if you're going to not get the 3rd now, which you should be doing because you keep losing, I'm going to take a 3rd, which is so smart because instead of going for an attack like normal, And now, knowing that TLO has the potential to cut out the third command center, he's going to have more units out, which means he's going to defend better. So White Raw just plays metagame against him, messes with his head, takes a third Nexus himself. And if TLO doesn't scout, which I don't think he is, I don't think he's going to even think about that third base, because that isn't in his immediate priority list for refinements. Like, it's not at the highest list. Like, I need to be careful in case he takes a third against me. It's more like, I need to be careful not to lose versus 6 gate, and then my build's going to be okay. But we'll see. I mean, he's gone up to these 5 barracks now. He's, well, 6, 7 barracks now in total.
7 barracks?
No factory, and that actually could hurt White Raw a lot here.
It could, yeah. That's a good choice right there from TLO, I feel, to really start piling on the pressure. He did vary things up. I believe what he did was he grabbed the stim instead of putting down the 4th barracks as early, and as a result, he now has stim, and he's going to go and do damage with that. White Raw may not be expecting stim based on the last one. We'll find out. The army composition and the army count, as far as I'm concerned, is in favor of TLO on both counts. A couple of sentries now being warped in, but this is quite a tricky natural to defend. It's got a nice open face right here for a good Terran concave. Let's catch a free probe out, and that's going to give him information about that third base as well, because that probe was heading up there. He's going to suspect there's a third base right now. He's got a few Marauders right here, which are not in the fight, and they're just hanging around. He splits his force up in 2 and gets stuck up against the Glory of Dominion. That's a bit of a problem, and that's, of course, the reason why you kill the Glory of Dominion, folks. Kill those statues. Damn it. And TLO will definitely catch that one out right now. The focus fire coming down. He wants to bring down that Immortal. He will do so at the cost of several Marauders. And White Raw defends that quite nicely. Still a little bit of pressure coming in. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure coming in quite shortly from TLO, because he does have those 7 barracks. But he lost a lot of units there. And now he needs to try and thin out the herd, and he's doing it quite nicely. A good bit of micro and a good bit of stemming action. All the Stalkers ripped apart there, except for that one solitary survivor who will go on to tell the tales of his lost race.
Yeah, really nice there play by both these players, actually. TLO, he split his army in 2, which he shouldn't have done, which means it's very, very difficult to micro versus Zealots. You cannot go attack, move in 2 different locations unless you're like MVP. And TLO is not quite MVP, unfortunately, so it's very, very difficult to micro. Therefore, he took so much damage initially from Zealots. Because the Zealots just attack move, and that's it. You don't need to focus too much on them. And then the rest of the focus is on, the sentries and so on. But the good makeup from TLO was that he did focus down and, as you said, thinned out that army. Though, big Warp Prism as well in the main base for TLO as this attack happens.
Yeah, here it comes, and as always, the Warp Prism seems to be a vulnerability for not just TLO, but everybody, and White Raw is doing a good job of making that happen. In the meantime, TLO is forced into a fighting retreat, and making decent use of the terrain right here to try and avoid his opponent. A couple of reinforcements coming in, and he's going to need something to deal with this mess that's happening in his main base at the moment.
Uh-oh, this is getting dangerous for TLO, losing 12 SCVs there. White Raw's currently at 61 SCVs on 3 base. TLO's on 2 base at 36 SCVs. That's quite bad.
Yep, and the remaining forces of White Raw are now moving in, doing some damage there as well. Zealots destroying that mineral line. TLO's force does land, and with the +1 upgrade, is able to clean this up quite nicely, and now stims directly in there. But again, this is a bio force with no medevac support, and TLO is forced once again into a retreat as White Raw smashes through those defenses.
Yeah, indeed he does, and he's going to be looking so bad now. There are 7 gateways in total, all getting chrono boosted out right now, which means it's just relentless pressure being warped in because of the Warp Prism. All about that Warp Prism again, they're basically piling inside the base.
GG, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. White Raw cleans TLO up 3-0, and that is both of those guys, of course, out of the tournament, and White Raw placing 3rd with TLO placing 4th.